All right, Doozer here, back in the shop. Another update for you.
That's the creek behind Doozer shop. Spring is here. This is all the wood in the wood pile that I've been cleaning up for the last couple of years since the trees fell on my shop. There's more where this came from. But this all started when a couple trees fell on my shop, and I've started stacking it out here to rot because maybe it's better than burning it, I don't know. Here's another angle of the brush pile and the log pile. So you can see the logs. I was kind of next to it, now I'm kind of in front of it. And then this is all the brush. It's quite a lot. That's where that New Holland tractor comes in handy. Just stacking all this stuff down here by the creek. Let it rot because it's so wet. So that keeps me busy. And the shop is up the hill there. See how low we are, kind of looking uphill. It all kind of started with this tree. That tree was broke off up on my roof of the shop. You can see I tried burning it a little bit where it was the stump. But you can see where the tin is off the roof there, but that's after I repaired it and I didn't get finished putting the tin on. But that corner there is basically where the tree hit. So that tree reached out, it was like 100-some foot tree, and whacked into the shop. And that was, I think, 2 years ago. If I look back at my videos, I think it was 2 years. But you can kind of see, you know, that tree I ended up taking down. That tree I ended up taking down. That tree over there. Another tree in the background. You can see some wood on the ground laying there. You know, that tree ended up being cut. You can see that one's topped. See, that one's topped. That one's topped. That one's topped. There's one on the ground over there. Ground over there. It's just a lot of trees. Like I said, this whole area where I'm standing, and I'm going to pan down. It's cleared out pretty well. This was all overgrown with vines and trees and everything. But now I've tamed it pretty well. 2 years later, and you can kind of see I've taken down trees there. You know, next to that pile is there's two stumps. There's a cut-off one. It's just a lot I had to cut out of here because just the you know, it was just so many trees and vines and just thick forest. It was crazy. Got the New Holland tractor outside, but I do have it covered up, keep the water off it. And the reason it's outside is I got doors now on the shop. That opening is 12 feet tall and 10 feet wide. So my dad, thankful to him, very much so, he built them doors for me So being that it's a 10-foot opening, those doors are 5 foot wide and 12 foot tall. And I got 5 hinges per door. I got the hinges a little closer together on the top to take more of the weight from the hanging weight of the doors. Let me get them opened up. I'll kind of show you what I got. First off, I just wanted to show you, my shop is 1 inch, this 1 inch pine board and batten, 1 inch boards and 1 inch thick battens, and the doors is what's called T111 plywood, right? T111 has those grooves in it, and that's what's my house. That's what's on the house. The house is made of. I put this strip down here. It's called like a Z-bar. It keeps the water from going. It keeps the water going over, not under. And I put it down at the bottom. In case you get rot at the bottom, it's easier to replace, that section than it is. I should have put it at the top, but I figured I'd put it at the bottom. That way it's easier to replace if it's ever necessary. So look at that. What you can see here, it's 2x4 construction. So basically this is like a 2x4 wall. You got the 5/8 T111, and you got 2x4, which is 3.5 inches, and I got 3/8 plywood on the inside. So it's a 4-inch thick door, and it's insulated, like I said, with just regular fiberglass batten insulation. Open this guy. Like I say, full 4-inch wide doors. And it'll go. Let me kind of show you around a little piece here, just leaning almost till it hits it. All right, so these will fold open 180 degrees. All right, it's not because I got that piece of plywood behind it, but these will fold open and lay flat against the building 180 degrees. Got my hinges in there. I mortised the hinges. My dad mortised the hinges into the door itself, and I surface mounted them in the jamb here of the shop. And 7 screws per leaf, and I don't know if you can see it. The screws are like 2.5 inches long, so it goes into the 2x material, the 2x6s, of the wall. So that's cool. I got my opening all, framed in there, and I got these nice hinges, 5 per door. And like I say, I mortised them in for strength into the door, but I don't know why I really didn't mortise them in here. I figured it was good enough surface mounting them. There's enough darn screws. So if you figure 14 screws per hinge, 14 per hinge times 5 on each side, 5 and 5 is 10, that's 140 screws got holding these doors on. So that should be enough. And now I can close my doors. I need to put pins in the floor and pin in ceiling and latch hardware on. But anyways, all right, this is my my dad's shop. It's kind of a wood shop, but I thought I'd give you a quick little overview. There's his toolbox with the big wheels. He kept that in the service van for years. let's see. These kitchen cabinets used to be in my house before I remodeled the kitchen. So I gave them to my dad for the shop on. Actually, I hung these up here before he even moved down here. He had the house and he was going back and forth. Let's see. My dad's got like me, he's got tools and everything. Drill presses and grinders. Another Buffalo Forge drill press. So this open area in the middle of the floor, my dad built the doors kind of like, he started out on this table and then sawhorses. But you can see in the background, my dad hoards wood like I hoard metal. It's a pretty cool bandsaw. That's a Laguna, 16-inch Laguna. I don't know, whatever. And he's got a little 1-inch Delta belt sander. I think that's a 6-inch Delta belt sander. You know, Delta bandsaw. That furnace could kick on at any time. It's a natural gas forced air furnace. Like I say, wood, chop saws. That's a nice one. That's a Bosch with the double knuckle. That thing's smooth as heck. Grinders and whatever. So that's his shop. He's got file cabinets. Those were in the truck for a while too. That's some wood drawers from Pillsbury. They used to put flower samples in there. His desk, different stuff. That's a thick joiner made in 1955 at Bell Aircraft. That's kind of a cool piece. DeWalt radial arm saw. Craftsman 1965-ish radial arm saw. Makita chop saw. He's got him on the bench there, and he likes the lamps. See, like the bench lamps. Parks thickness planer. He's big into organizing stuff. Screws and hardware. He's just got a ton of stuff. See the guys on the beam up there. Huh. So, and little welding area. And just stuff, you know, any shop would have, you know, screwdriver collection and whatever. But, you know, that's my house next door there. Whatever. In the back door where the fridge is. So this is, 2 table saws. Walker Turner or Boyce Crane? I forget. I think it's a Walker Turner in a Delta Rockwell something. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. This is all welded construction. 4-blade cutter head. This was made by a guy named Chris Wagner in 1955 at Bell Aircraft in Buffalo. I don't know if he was an engineer and he kind of did it on his government time or what, but and then there's like a little joiner here, Sears or something. But this is my dad's shop. Just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of where the doors were built. And he's got parts cabinets in there. So, yeah. Thank you, Dad, for building my doors. This is his shop. There you go. So, back, I got the forklift in here. You know, the Pratt & Whitney's still in here. In the corner where I last left it. Trying to think what else here. I got the table all shot up with WD-40. I got the whole machine covered up in WD-40. I buy it by the gallon and use the sprayer. I think that's the most economical. One thing, I don't know, I might move it back a little more. I got it within enough walking distance, maybe 18 inches of the wall. Got the motor up there. Trying to think what else real quick. The collets takes these Pratt & Whitney collets, okay? I should put the lamp on and get some light. it takes these funky Pratt Whitney collets. They're double taper. I don't know the angle. But now that's a 4 Morse taper collet. So you can put a tapered shank in the collet, which is kind of weird. And it's got a split. It's got one split. And that'll tighten up on a Morse taper shank. So I've got 2 Morse taper collets, okay? And then the nose is like a cap. And see, it's got threads in there. And it's got, I don't know if you can see that, threads on there. So there's no drawbar. It's actually a nose cap that threads on with a spanner wrench to tighten it up. But these collets, I've got 4 Morse taper. I've got 2 of them, which is nice. I've got an extra nose cone, so I've got 2 nose cones, or nose caps, or whatever you want to call it. So 2 Morse taper number 4. I've got Morse taper number 2. I've got Morse taper number 1, which I'll never use. I've got 2 collets that are 1¼ inch straight shank. I've got inch and a quarter straight shank. John Oder in Houston, Texas was nice enough to send me a 1-inch collet, so that's cool because that's a very common size. So I got a couple 1¼ inch, 1 inch. I got a 3/4 also, which is, you know, popular size. Got this Van Norman 1933 is the year piston grinder. I picked this up a while ago before I even had the Brown & Sharp 13. It's kind of neat. The I'm gonna do it. I'm pushing with my hand here. It's a little stiff, but see that table lifts up, and there's like a cam that goes on there that does the lifting. It only lifts it like, you know, whatever your cam or your piston's going to be. Obviously, it lifts it more if you want. Kind of close it up here. I'll show you. It closes that down. Kind of neat. So this is the hinge. There's a hinge there and a hinge there. This whole table pivots, and there's oil cups, you know. So it's kind of neat. It's got the original Van Norman red underneath, flat belt spindle drive. It's a repulsion induction motors. Kind of a neat V-belt for the coolant pump. But 1933, I just got a goofy ass center in here. That's a 3 Morse taper. You know, it should have some kind of driver chuck. 2 Morse taper in the tailstock. The tailstock is split, and you can offset it, but the table doesn't swivel like a cylindrical grinder. This would make someone a great starting out kind of home shop cylindrical grinder, between centers grinder. No one's going to cam grind pistons anymore. But if anybody's interested, get a hold of me here at Doozer Shop. My email in the on my homepage there, whatever. So I got a few other projects. This Walker Turner radial drill. My buddy James at Engineers Workshop. I think he's going to pick that up for his son. So he might come next weekend. The back of this surface grinder, that's an Okamoto 8-inch by 20-inch. And I brought it home, brought it in here. It's just dirty. The table wouldn't traverse, and I have a very strong suspicion it is a proximity switch on the table. The company I got it from changed like 3 hydraulic valves and couldn't find the problem, but I've done some research, and they're very problematic, the table sensing reversing switches. So that's in a future episode. It's very dirty, but that's going to be a key machine here in Doozer Shop. A long time ago I picked up this grinder. It's a Hissy Wolf. If I can... Hissy Wolf, right? It's a carbide grinder for grinding carbide with the tapered tables. Delta Rockwell made them. Hammond made them. A couple people made them. So I'm just kind of out here doing a catch-up video. My Detroit diesel, 353. I got to put my fan in. The fan goes up there where my louvers are. Been thinking about moving the gantry crane out of here, folks. My 2-ton hoist. Yeah, I got a Duff Norton 2-ton roller trolley. I have 2 hoists, 2 Cyclone 2-ton hoists, and I found another match, another 2-ton Duff Norton trolley on eBay I bought. Doesn't have to match brands, of course, but I saw the same brand trolley and I said, hey, why not? Talking to Jeff Topper, a Topper Machine, about gantries and other things. So kind of give you guys, I got junk everywhere. Yeah, this gantry, you can see the bottom frames, and this is what I was putting stain on with. I've got the swivel casters kind of mounted underslung there. It kind of gives the load a better footprint. Instead of 1 swivel caster on the cross beam there, whatever, I got 2 of them straddling it, so it gives you a better footprint on the floor. You're not point loading. You're kind of got in a spread. I got a stupid piece of carpet on there. These things just collect junk. But you kind of see what it is, right? It's a piece of channel over the top, and I made I think this is all 5-inch channel. I made a square box beam with pieces of channel here on the bottom. And that winch, I think this is 5-inch pipe, and this is 4.5-inch pipe. It's galvanized, so I suspect it's like rigid conduit for electrical. I got the hoist, and I got a pulley up top, and you put the beam itself will set on, you know, these supports. And then you insert the column. So that's kind of cool. I know the light in here is not good. Maybe you can kind of see. Yeah, that channel, it straddles the bottom pipe. And then you insert the column. That's kind of what it is. That's how that works. And then you put the pins in, and you can see the pins up there. So pin on the bottom, I think there's 2, there's 1 right there. And of course the pulley. So that's kind of how it works. But it's so tall, and the deal is, these bottom frames, they take up so much space. You know, they just, I'm up against the Pratt Whitney there. They take a lot of space. There's a shot of the so I got another hoist up in the attic, and I just ordered another trolley, so that works. So that's cool. So I was thinking about paving a section here in front of the shop, and running the gantry out here, and then just putting I want to build a bridge crane in the shop. So check this out. Give the camera some time to adjust. So this is balloon frame construction. What that means is the 2x6 studs come all the way from the floor. And I'm waiting for the camera, there it goes, to adjust. And you can see where the roof starts, that's the top. So those 2x6s are 14 foot tall. that's what balloon frame is. They go all the way to the roof. So what I was going to do is put a ledger, a 2x8 ledger, which is essentially a ledge. I'm going to make it 3 2x8s thick, and I'm going to screw it or lag bolt it on every stud. There are 16, I think, studs all the way across. And on this side, underneath the Tyvek, there's, you know, excuse me, studs there. And if I put a ledger composed of 3 2x6s or 2x8s sandwiched together, that'll give me 4.5 inches of a ledger to set the rails on. So the rails, I figure I'll use 4-inch I-beam or something for the rails and set it on top of the 3 sandwiched together 2x6s or 2x8s, and then put my rail across, my bridge across from side to side. So that should be strong as an ox. Contemplated putting pieces of 3/4 plywood as bracing under the ledger, additional. Easy on this wall because it's open. This wall, I could still do it pretty easily by slotting them in. So I don't know. Tell me what you think about that, maybe. More miscellany. I've got 120 2x4s under there stacked up. I think they're 9 foot long, so that could be used for the shop expansion. Thought it might be nice to add on with a grinding only room. So those 3 windows are the shop where I usually do the filming, and the man door, of course, with, pardon the ladder. And then the high bay, when I talk about the high bay, it's where the doors are, the new doors. And I was thinking about, you know, extending another 25 or 30 feet because I got nothing but woods, a clearing in the woods there, very few trees. Might make a nice grinding room. Basically, where these 3 windows are, I would just build it, put a door and extend out that way. So maybe, I just got the forklift in here now with the jig bore in the corner. I could probably close the doors with the tractor in here, but I'll show you what I want to do. If you can see, behind that stump I got a white post. That's that white post. That's 30 feet from the corner of my shop. So from there to there would be potentially the expansion for the grinding room. And you see another post right beyond the corner of that ladder. You see that post right there, that white post. So that's a 20-foot space, right? So from that post to that post is a 20-foot free space. I was going to leave a free space, and then I was going to go from that post down. Oh God, if I can see it. Where is it? I think down to that post. I think there's a post down there from my fingers pointing. So from that post to that post is 50 feet, and I was going to put a carport, picnic shelter kind of thing all the way up to like there. The same width as the shop, and the shop is 25 feet or 24 feet wide. So 50 by 24 would be 50 foot long, so 5 bays to park some fire trucks and some tractors and such. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, coming off here, another, like I say, these 3 windows would be inside. Actually, the middle would turn into a door, and the roof would only come up, you know, to accommodate a 9-foot ceiling. This tree would be gone. It's just a skiggly old. It's leaning towards the shop too. It's a sweet gum tree. You can't really tell, but it's leaning towards the shop, which I do not like, and it's just a sweet gum tree. It provides nice shade. I like shade, but it's leaning, and I might put a expansion here. So who knows? Who knows? You can see my truck outside, the international pickup, and I don't care if my daily driver is outside, but my fire trucks are up there. They're outside. I don't like that. So, yeah, we'll see.